Perfect. Hello, everyone. We have Jen here. She's a wellness and health expert and working with a lot of clients, her clients. I do want to dive in with her lovely story to start with. I would love for you to share your story, how you got into health and wellness as well.
Absolutely. So I am a mom of 4 children, and really my story began with just recognizing that, my children had some health complications, right? And so with those complications, I started learning a lot about the medical system and a lot of just the different options. And we were just looking for every option possible to support our children. And what I found is there was just a big gap in the conventional medical system that just was not making any sense. And that kind of led me down the path of starting to do a lot of, I'll say self-education, just reading, researching, did like 5 years of that before I jumped into formal education. And that is when I discovered there's a whole world of so many things that just aren't shared publicly. And as we began to change the health of my own family by making changes, I couldn't help but be inspired to help other people because I mean, if I didn't know that information, there's probably a lot of people who don't know the information.
Yeah. That's very true, because a lot of people go through several conditions, but they don't change anything, and they rely on the conventional medicine for the lot of things that they want to change, but it doesn't affect them, and there's no change in their health. It's just dependency on the conventional medicine.
Yeah, I feel like it never addresses the root cause of the dysfunction in the first place. And so nobody ever gets better. They just continuously get worse because quite frequently, I know I talk to so many women that struggle with their health, and they get on one medication and then it leads to another medication. And it's like one diagnosis after another diagnosis after another diagnosis, which I understand we are looking for answers. But at the same time, prescriptions aren't answers, right? Diagnosis aren't answers. So what I really enjoy doing is like looking at the whole picture and diving in and kind of looking at the patterns of what's going on. And I like to look and dig for that root cause of the original dysfunction, and then work backwards to create the optimum environment for our bodies to get back into balance. Because what I've learned is that our bodies are miraculous at healing, given the right environment, the right time, the right nutrients. There's incredible mechanisms of healing available to us within our bodies, no matter how far gone we are. I have seen so much miraculous healing in people's bodies when they are open to looking at it from a more holistic perspective.
That's beautiful. And when do you recall in your whole journey and that there was a specific moment where you decided that something needs to actually change and you decided to change? Because, I ask this because a lot of people, it's hard for them to change. They're so comfortable in their zones that any information you give them is like, I'll take this, but it's hard for them to actually make the change. So how did you do that?
For me, it's a little bit different because I wasn't aware that my health was declining. I was so focused on my children's health. And so being a mom who's scared for her child who is not thriving, I did some pretty extreme changes in our household. So we eliminated processed food 100%. We stopped eating out. We really made a lot of significant changes in our consumption. Changed out all of the toxic cleaning products, household products, body products. Like, we went hardcore eliminating toxins from every avenue. And so in that, now I was in a situation where I just thought I was getting older. My health was trending the same way that I see everyone else. I'm tired, I'm stiff. It's just what it happens when you get older, especially when you have babies. Like, all of the things that were shifting in me I was just taught to normalize, because we do in our society. We normalize it because it's so common to be walking around with illness. And even more so young now than back then. And this was 20 years ago for me.
Wow.
So it's a long time ago. Wow. And so what happened when I was changing the household consumption for my whole family for the sake of my child and children, what I had happened to me is my health started changing. Yeah. And that woke me up to realize that, holy cow, I'm not actually getting older, I'm getting sick. Yes. And that really triggered something. And a lot of people get dismissed when they go to the doctors, and they literally are told it's just the way it happens. It sucks to get older. And it doesn't have to be that way. And so that kind of was the point where I was like, because I had struggled with female hormone issues my whole life from the time I was a teenager. Yeah. And those things started turning around really quickly. And that's when I really started digging into, well, why when I changed the food did that happen? And that really started that self-learning, because I was like, well, what is it in food that causes this? Yes. So I have a very natural tendency to be very curious. Yes. So I spent every free moment I had digging in and learning how critical food is. Yeah. And then it all just kind of started making sense. I'm like, well, our body rebuilds itself. So it absolutely makes sense that what you put into it matters.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very amazing, because I can totally relate to that fact that we are not getting older, we are getting sicker. Mm-hmm. Because our bodies are designed so much powerful that they are meant to heal on our own self. Mm-hmm. But because we are not providing in the proper nutrition, proper diet, proper care, proper exercise, that's going to decline over time until you actually realize, and it's just done at that point. But it's always the reverse change where you can actually change, right? As you made the change. It wouldn't have been easier for you either. No. But you decided, right? You made that decision for yourself.
Well, I was just so amazed by it. And then I wanted to tell other women. Yes. Because as we are women, we talk about these things. Men are not so much, but women, we talk about these things, our struggles and whatnot. And I was realizing as I was gathering with other women, and there were so many repeating conversations about what they were struggling with. And I was like, I can't keep my mouth quiet. I'm like, I have to tell you guys, like, what is changing in my world. And then I became very passionate, and it became almost like a mission, because I was like, as I was influencing these women to make just very basic changes before I even went back to school, and they were having an impact, and I watched how that trickled down to their family. Yeah. And I was like, I'm not just impacting the woman sitting in front of me, I'm impacting their whole entire family, because it's going to influence and create that ripple effect. And so that's really what initiated it. Yes. And then what happened is we started like exploring naturopathic medicine and stuff like that. Yeah. And within that journey, I realized there was a gap in there too. And so that's what led me to choose where I went to school and what information I needed to have, because I had no idea that it would turn into a full-out career. Yes. I literally just went back to school to fill the gap, to be able to provide the information that I needed to help my child get back to health. Yeah. And it just like evolved into a complete career.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, because I feel that is so true, because like when you see the trickle down effect in the whole family, this is very true, because when you have one sick member in your family, you know how much you want to help them, but it's like, I cannot help you if you cannot help yourself. Like, I can only do so much. And when you start making the changes, you saw that in your family, and then you helped so many people and so many women around. That's just wonderful. Thank you.
Well, I realized that one of the best ways to influence others is to start with ourselves first.
Yes, that's
right. True. Like show people it can happen. So it does involve commitment, discipline, going against the grain.
Yes, exactly.
And though, so worth it.
Yes.
So worth it.
Yes, that's I agree with that totally, because I feel like anytime when I start talking about something, it has to be authentic, just because I feel like if I'm just saying it and I haven't practiced in my own self, why would other people even like consider it? Like, I have made the change. I know how powerful it is. I'm telling you, I'm coming from that place, right?
That's right.
It's authentic.
I do feel like that is where I have the biggest influences, because I've come from one extreme to the other, that it's lived experience. It's not something that I was brought up understanding. I wasn't brought up around health and nutrition and healthy spaces and that knowledge. It really has come from lived through experiences. And I feel like that's one of my superpowers is I can literally have empathy for where a person is starting, because that's where I started.
Yes.
And it helps because I feel like people can feel safe. And because they know that I'm not judging.
Yes.
Because I've been there.
Yeah.
I know what it's like to be where you are. And so it's like this completely safe space to share without judgment.
Yeah, that's true. For like, you have a lot of knowledge about like gut health, your hormones, and exercise and the supplements, which is kind of where we actually are dependent on like the external factors, which is like conventional medicine. But you have created this whole gut exercise and all the things around the wellness of some human being that needs actual help. How do you actually like program for somebody who actually needs to start, and of course they need all those aspects as well, right?
Yeah, so the first step, I think what you're asking me is like, what's the process?
Yes.
Right? What's the process? So first is really assessing where we're at is first step, right? And then what I've learned through the years is really to work alongside clients to see what their commitment level is and where they're willing to start. Like, which area do you want to work on first? And then it's creating the habits. And really, within creating the habits, I want to say it's just like, you could have this map and it's all going to work out. But the reality is there's so much influence between like the psychological factors. So I actually work so much more in the psychological area than I thought I ever would, because it's so much more than just writing out a program and saying, here, go do it. It's the where I make the biggest impact is more on the coaching moments, where we can then discuss what happens when we get derailed and learn from it, versus because what happens in our society is we say we're going to do one thing, it doesn't work out, and then we sit in shame and run and hide from it. And so what I like to do is take the shame out and look at it more as less of a failure, but more of as an opportunity to learn and grow from it. Because I think that's where the power shift of change can happen, is when we can sit down and just talk about it openly, non-judgmentally, because I find that more so people judge themselves, right? And then that negative self-talk comes in, and that is where, as a coach, I can make the biggest impact, is shifting the mindset, because the mindset is why, like, intuitively we know what we need to do. We need a little guidance. But why do we keep coming back? Why do we start and stop and start and stop and start and stop? And it starts in your mind.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. That's 100% true, because like, you want to see the change, you have to be the change, but then you have to be consistent with that. And it's all starts.
And patient. So a lot of times, we want the results faster. Right? And the line of success is never straight up. We have ups, we have setbacks, we live real lives.
Yeah.
We deal with stress, emotions, work, children, all kinds of different things, relationships in general, right? When it comes to working with people, like things can get messy, right? And so working through all of those things one by one and understanding long game.
Yeah.
Because I think it's really unfortunate that we live in a society that wants fast, because we got Amazon, we got microwaves, we call it a microwave society. Everything needs to be like fast moving. Yeah. We want results right away. But really anything that's going to last takes time. Because you can starve yourself and drop a whole bunch of weight, but you're not going to be healthy and it's not going to stick.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? And so I like to really talk about the long game and the future and creating vision for what you're really building towards versus where am I going by the next 4 weeks?
Yeah.
So when I coach with people, I never do it short term. Like I work through my smallest package is 3 months.
Yeah.
Because I really don't feel like you can address everything with less than a month's time.
Yeah.
Because within 3 month period of time, you go through things. Yes. You also get out of the honeymoon phase.
Yes.
So a lot of people stick with the program no problem for 2 weeks.
Yes.
But then you fall out of the honeymoon phase when it's not new and exciting.
That's true.
And then we drop off, and that's where we regress back again to old habits.
Yeah.
So I feel like the coaching needs to be longer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. You did touch base on like the program that you have, and I want to like talk about like gut health essentially, and like that how we treat our gut essentially. It's like a dustbin for some reason. It's like I'm gonna eat everything just to feel emotionally well, but it's like emotional eating more and then less of like actually taking care of yourself. So like more about like gut health and how's the correct supplements actually help somebody to like evolve in their journey.
Yeah, because if you don't have optimal gut health or you have a known diagnosed gut health issue, which most people don't understand that everything's connected to the gut, right?
Yes.
We just think like bloating, indigestion, heartburn, the obvious things, or bowel issues, stomach cramping, whatever, right? Like most people just think of the typical connected. But our mental health, our thyroid health, our hormone health, our skin health, like all of it is connected to our gut.
Yes.
And so if we're not accessing proper the nutrients from our food, we're not going to be able to keep those pathways running. Because every cellular pathway in our body requires nutrients.
Yeah. And even to absorb it.
Yeah. And then you need to absorb it.
Yeah.
So many gut health products on the market don't do anything.
True.
They don't.
Yeah.
And so that's where I've really been able to dive in and understand which supplements work best and not just in theory, but in action.
Yeah.
And that's where I've really discovered how important gut health is, because you can address so many symptoms through correcting gut health, and not just supporting gut health, but there's a lot of nutrients that can then go and repair gut health.
The aspect of gut health and how important it is for people to understand that it is very like treated as something that you want to do it like eat everything just for emotional eating, but then it's affecting everything in your body. You don't see the changes that is coming in like 1 month, you don't see it, like 2 months you don't see it, but down the years, like 2 years, you will see the impact that it has made in your body.
The emotional eating, we never reach for the healthy foods either. We just don't. So, and then that emotional eating puts us in a stuck cycle.
Yeah.
Where now we have negative or lowered mood.
Yeah.
Because of what we ate. Yeah. So we eat more. It gets us actually trapped in a pattern.
Yeah.
So it's a dangerous pattern that a lot of us struggle with.
Yeah, that's very true. What do you think about the bodies? Because as we age, our bodies get older and older. And in your whole journey, have you seen so many clients, and even with your own journey, you have seen so much impact that you have made. But like as we get older, the bodies do get impacted. But
yep.
What's your like take on that? Essentially, like what can somebody do to make sure that we are able to take care of ourselves?
There's a couple of things. So first and foremost, as we age, yes, in order to stay optimally healthy, yeah, we have to supplement.
Yeah.
Our food is less nutritious than it once was. Our environment is very toxin loaded. And there's just a lot we can't control, but the food we can.
Yeah.
Right? And supplementation. Yeah. And so there's a few supplements that I think are absolutely crucial as we age. And one is supporting our gut health to make sure we're accessing the nutrients.
Yes.
So I have a formula that I use I absolutely love because it actually supports all the phases of digestion, and it looks at digestion as a whole system instead of just like a Band-Aid solution to one targeted thing.
Yes.
So it helps the whole system work synchronized. Yeah. And so I love that. And then I really think as we age, collagen is super important. Yes. Because our body doesn't make collagen anymore as we age, and continues to deplete. Yeah. And as a woman, when we enter into perimenopause, which can happen as early as 30, that accelerates by 30%.
Yeah.
And it's the structural protein that holds our body together, and we don't consume it through food.
Yes.
So I think having a good solid collagen supplement is amazing. Yeah. The one I have found completely transformed my life, right? Wow. Because it helped me with my body composition. It helped me get rid of a lot of stiffness in my body, pain in my body. It can, if you get a really solid formula with high concentration peptides, it will actually maintain your bone mass. Yeah. So we're always being told, like, we have to make sure we don't, we get bone density tests done as we're older because there's a risk of osteoporosis and all these different things, right? And then our muscles, helping maintain our muscle tissues and our connective tissues, because collagen will help rebuild the ligaments and tendons in your body, those connective tissues. It helps rebuild your gut lining. It helps rebuild your cardiovascular system. Yes. Like it's so, so important. So I am a huge advocate for that type of supplementation as we get older to create more longevity in our body.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. In that whole aspect of it, have you ever seen like an impact on a client, and even with your own self, like an indirect example, not direct? Like, have you seen that change?
I don't know if I understand the question.
Try so again. I mean, like, if you have seen the change in a client, like, what was the impact that you saw that was like?
Oh my goodness, like with the supplements and the whole like nutrition and everything, some pretty extreme. Mm-hmm. Some pretty extreme. Not going to make any medical claims publicly because I can't. I know. However, I have seen extreme diagnosis go into remission and be undetected. Yeah. I can't say it was cured. Yeah. But it's no longer being detected. Yeah. And so like it's miraculous. Yes. There's many different incurable said incurable gut issues, colon issues, autoimmune conditions that have been supported through food and nutrition, like nutrition and supplementation and lifestyle habits. Exactly. Right? Yeah. Eliminating things like alcohol and like the vaping and like cigarette use. Like eliminating those things make a considerable impact. Not drinking soft drinks and those like crazy fluorescent colored energy drinks and like these things that are marketed that didn't exist before, but now there's whole refrigeration like walls of products, and there's new brands coming out constantly, and I'm like, because I'm like, you don't need it.
It's cheaper to make them, and then they brand it as like, oh, this is energy
a health
drink.
thing.
I don't think so. No, I don't think that's like energy. It's like sugar and water.
Right. And I just think to myself, like, how much money everyone would save if we just drank water.
True. Exactly.
Like something our body actually needs versus all these ingredients that don't actually serve any purpose in our body.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that. And with the work that you have done with the community as well, as you mentioned, like how is that shaped your personality, seeing the impact that you have made?
Oh, it's changed a lot, actually. I would say like leadership development.
Yes.
And really being able to see the gifts in others.
Yeah.
So it's changed my perspective in a lot. It's helped build faith. It's helped like in so many areas of my life.
Yeah.
I would say in my relationships and in my understanding and my ability to have patience for people and just so many different areas, because I really think that at the end of the day, we are all trying to do our very best.
Yes.
And so there's been so many learning moments, and I love that like we learn together and from one another, and we all have value to add to the conversation. And so sometimes I feel like my clients teach me as much as I teach them, because they're teaching me how to be a better coach with every client I have. And I've coached thousands of people, and yet with every coaching moment allows me to learn how to be a better coach through my interactions with my clients as well.
Yeah. I totally agree with that, to be honest. It's when you see the change, you're like, your perspective changes, and it's like something shifts within you. You're like, no, this actually works. Like, it's just not me that it worked on. It actually works, and you see
I feel like it's made me very purpose driven.
Yes.
It's really helped me to understand purpose. And ultimately, I believe like so many people seek purpose, but they seek it within their job or their career. And the way I view purpose is not in the chosen career path or job, but truly the impact you make.
Okay.
So I feel like our purpose on earth for all of us is to actually create impact for others. How we choose it is the vehicle that we call career or job or whatever, but it's how we impact our community that matters most. And through our community work, it's really I've gained a new perspective in that way, that purpose, that people are so much more than their career or their job or their status or their, you know what I mean? And it's truly about impacting people and how we can create a better world.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I totally relate with that, because I feel like I know that some things are important in life to survive and to do certain things, but it's like when you actually make an impact, that's when you're like, oh, I love that I was able to help somebody, right? That's like, that gives you purpose. Like, I wish I could do that every single time, and every single you
it's very fulfilling.
Yes.
Right? Like to get that phone call or that text that is so grateful, and they just share their win, and it's like, you know, when I have someone message me and say, I had the best night's sleep ever, and I haven't slept in 10 years.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, hallelujah, we're making progress. This is amazing. Like, it's so fulfilling because of that impact.
Yes, I bet you. I agree with that totally. Coming to the end, if there is somebody who would take a message from you, that you would want to share, like within your own journey, within somebody's journey, impacting them, Like, what is that message that somebody could take from this?
Just hope. I think hope, because I think there's a lot of people who've lost hope.
Yes.
And one of the messages that I keep hearing is, my doctor said there's nothing more I can do.
Yes.
And that's the worst thing to hear.
Yeah.
Because then you lose hope and you stop seeking.
Yes.
And what I like to share is that when a doctor says there's nothing more I can do, they're speaking about what's in their toolbox, not what's in every toolbox.
Yeah.
There's always more we can shift and do, and there's always someone out there that can support and take you to that next step.
Yeah.
Maybe not the complete step, but take you to your next step.
Yeah.
And it's really about learning and growing from one another and finding those relationships that are healthy, that can, you could be mentored or coached through to the next step of your healing journey.
Yeah, that's very true, because you are right. Like, a lot of people think that there is no cure to what they're diagnosed with whatever they're dealing with, which I think is like, you don't, like, everything works around with you when you start believing within your own self. It's like, that's the impact you'll see once, like, I even if I'm not hopeful, even if I start trusting myself and start giving myself a chance, everything works out.
Well, and I think what happens is when we get told it's not curable.
Yes.
Not curable means they don't have a drug to fix it.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
That's actually, like, in my experience, it means they have nothing that can cure it, so they've not seen cures.
Yes.
But our medical system doesn't. I think there's some doctors that are really good. I don't want to paint everyone with the same brush. There are some really good doctors out there that are looking at root cause and asking bigger questions about lifestyle habits and whatnot. But overall, that's not what's being supported. And I think there just needs to be more awareness of the whole, like, every avenue, not just one. And I just think, like, the holistic space is just like a baby industry, because even if we look back, like, naturopathic medicine here in Alberta was only came into play and written into the Health Act in 2012.
Oh, wow.
14 years, that's it.
Yeah.
It's still not adopted as mainstream years later.
Yeah.
And so we're still not looking at things from a holistic approach. We're not looking at, like, everything has its place. And I believe that when we're struggling with complex situations, we need a team so we can look at every perspective, not just one. Okay. And in our medical system, we get one.
Yes.
And only one. And if you start mentioning others, depending on the doctor's opinion, they may shoot it down, or they may say, like in my case with my son, the doctor we were working with basically told me there was no proof that anything natural would ever fix anything. And we've completely reversed everything. And he is not dependent on medication.
Yes. That is
don't let someone else's limiting beliefs fall upon you.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I love that statement, because that is, I think I have seen the change in my life because of that. It's like, I don't want anybody's limiting belief to affect me, right? So it's like, thank you for sharing that. That was the end of the conversation. Thank you so much, Jen, for your time. I will definitely share your details down in the description regarding if somebody wants to contact her. She's amazing. She has helped so many people in the community, and she continues to grow and work through a lot of people and changing their lives and impacting them. So yeah, if you would love to contact her, I will have her description down in the description. I'll have the links to how to contact her and her socials as well.
Thank you so much for having me.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time. Have yourself a nice day. Bye.